So, were you all ready to listen when that second reading came along? Just in case some of you were thinking about what's on the Olympics later today or where you're going to brunch, let me just refresh our memories again. I urge you to live in a manner worthy of the call you have received, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another through love, striving to preserve the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. Well, that's easy enough. Or maybe not. I don't know about you, but that's a challenging list of things to try to live out. In fact, I find that I'm really inadequate in many of these areas, much of the time. So what are we supposed to do about that? How do we go about striving to live in a manner worthy of the call that we've received? Remember that first reading? The man from Baal Shalisha, what did he bring forward? What did he have? 20 barley loaves, okay? And when he was asked by Elisha to feed 100 people with it, what did he think? That ain't enough. That ain't enough. How about in the gospel passage? This is a passage we know really well, right? The boy had what? 5 loaves and 2 fish, right? And what did Philip think about that? It's not enough. It's not enough. And what did Jesus teach us? I believe his teaching for us is that no matter how pathetic little you think you have to offer, it's enough. And that's what we are called to offer. That is how we will end up living in a manner worthy of the call we have received. If we just simply offer back to the Lord what we have to offer. We have to trust then that it is enough. That might be the hard part. You see, if we think actually that we can do all the patience and have all the gentleness and bearing with one another by ourselves, that's probably where we're going to fall short. Because that's never going to be enough. But if we truly offer it back to the Lord, that will be enough. The Lord proved that he can do amazing things with the little bit that was brought forward. I'd like to share with you one of the prayer experiences I had this week. So I was praying with this gospel passage, and it was just what was really placed on my heart was that little boy. There's a boy here who has 5 loaves and 2 fish. And then we know Philip chimes in, but what is that for 5,000 men, not including women and children? What little is that going to do? And in my prayer, I had this image. I had the image of the little boy, kind of a nondescript little boy coming to Jonathan Rumi. I'll admit it, okay? That was the image of Jesus, okay? Like it oftentimes is now, and I'm thinking we can do much worse. After all, he does have Palestinian blood in him, so I think they casted very, very well for the chosen. So in my prayer, Jesus winks at the little boy. He winks at the little boy, and then he blesses the loaves and the fishes, and he gives that to the disciples. He says, "You guys take care of this." Then he proceeded just to play with that little boy. He sat there and was just entertaining this little boy and allowing that little boy just to have this encounter with Jesus. And then in my prayer, that little boy became me. It was pictures. It's not memories that I have, but it's memories of pictures from my first Holy Communion. Okay? If you really want to know, I was wearing maroon double knit pants. Just a little flare, not really big flares, okay, but just a little flare. A white shirt with ridiculously big lapels and a tie. That's the pictures from my first Holy Communion. But that little boy started being entertained by Jesus. Jesus was playing, guess which hand it's in? Okay? It was beautiful. It was a powerful prayer. I think the Lord wants all of us to know that he wants us to have that kind of encounter with him. He desires to be with each of us in that intimate way. And he also wants us to know that no matter what kind of lies we hear, that we're not enough, that we are enough. What little bit that we can bring forward is all it takes for him to do miraculous things with. To take what we have, he blesses it, and then he helps us distribute. I think this will be really, really helpful in this year in which we are in, this election year, right? I mean, bearing with one another, right? Coming together, what was that? To live in a manner worthy of the call that we've received, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another through love, striving to preserve the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. Sounds like a really good recipe for an election year, doesn't it? But we already know that that's not going to be fed to us from the secular world, is it? No. No. They're going to try to get us to believe that we need to fight, we need to belittle the other, we need to choose this side or that side, okay? Even if something on this platform or something on this platform completely goes against our faith, you have to accept it all. That's a lie, okay? But in the midst of it, we need to continue to bear with one another, allow ourselves to have that unity through love, right? Okay, so let's try to live this gospel. Let's try to recognize that this is the manner with which we are called to live. It's worthy of the call that we've received. And that we're not alone, right? This isn't a me and Jesus thing. This is we're in this together. And in a little while, we're going to be fed from this altar, right? Jesus is once again, the same Jesus that multiplied, took those 5 loaves and those 2 fish from that little boy and fed the multitudes. He's going to offer us another miracle. It'll be up to us to receive that. To receive that so then we can go out and strive to do our part. To offer back to God what little pathetic little we have, and to trust that Jesus will do amazing things with it.